This is an economics professor working on social justice for the new school, which is spewing old propaganda. But this lady and her proposal, the infamous proposal, is guaranteed retirement account. Now, she has testified before prominent Democrats in the House and Senate. And this is what they want to do, otherwise they wouldn't be promoting her. Now, here's part of my interview with her 3 years ago. Go ahead. Now, you're a professor of economics at the New School for Social Research. Is that correct?
That's right.
And you have an idea with these 401k plans that has now received a lot of publicity. You have attended at least one hearing in the House. People are intrigued by your proposal. What is your proposal?
Well, I think people don't realize how bad 401k plans treat them with their high fees and really...
No, let me slow you down there. You can get a 401k plan with a mutual fund that has no fees. I've got them.
That's what they tell you. But all 401k plans have fees. How do you pay the salaries of the investment managers and the advertising? There are fees, but they're not apparent.
So
and
they're crooked. They're crooks? Can I say that?
Pardon me?
So they're crooks.
They've gotten away with everything.
Say it.
Yep,
Cut through
they've gotten away with it.
Are they crooks, ma'am? Yes or no?
2% fees over time. That can erode about 30 or 40% of people's assets.
Yes.
It's also a huge waste of money from the U.S. Treasury because we give huge tax breaks for these 401ks, and everybody who has one gets a tax break.
All right, now, we got to do this slowly, or I'm going to get confused. I'm not that bright. So my question is, we give two huge tax breaks to whom?
Well, to anybody who contributes to a 401k.
To the people, then?
The people, workers, and they get to contribute tax-free, and the earnings in those plans accumulate tax-free.
And then you're taxed when you start taking them out.
And when you take it out. The problem is that people who are middle class happen not to contribute as much as people at the very top.
Now, before we get to that, the fact is, isn't it true, ma'am, we are denying the federal government the tax revenue it deserves?
Yeah, well, that's...
I mean, isn't that true? I mean, if I'm putting that money into a 401k that, first of all, is ripping me off, as you point out, and then secondly, there's tens of billions of dollars in taxes the government could be collecting, but for the fact that we keep it.
Well, you're exactly right. That's exactly right.
Not so stupid, am I?
No, you got it just right, and I'm going to steal that way of describing.
Well,
your Social Security deduction goes towards your account, and you'll get Social Security.
No. Wait a minute. How much money's in that trust fund?
Well, there's now about $2 trillion in that.
No, there's not. There are $2 trillion worth of IOUs from the Treasury Department.
From the federal government.
So where is my cash today?
You know what? You don't want it in cash. You want it in Treasury.
But let's say I want it now. Where is my cash today?
You can't get it now. You're not entitled to it.
Well, I'm not going to take it now, but where is it?
It is, it resides...
Come on, be honest now. It's not there.
Bonds, and it's a promise the Congress has made to you.
It's a promise. You mean like the FDIC promise? Where's all that money?
Yeah, and just like the layman's problem.
No, but ma'am, we've already agreed the private sector's full of crooks.
Okay,
Can we
so what
agree?
about the government?
So now we're saying the government's full of crooks.
Well, you pick your crooks. And right now, the only...
FDI trillion?
Yeah. If we...
The Comptroller General says it's closer to $23 trillion.
That's if you look at it in infinity. But
no, that's if you look at it to 2050.
Well, it's...
Look, you're the expert, not me.
It's the Social Security actuary who is the final word on this. Congress agrees that the actuaries get to do the numbers. It says that it's $4 trillion. So in 2050,
no. By 2050, it's more than $4 trillion.
Well, if we don't do anything in Social Security, people will collect about 3/4 of what they owe.
So basically, the Comptroller General of the United States in January and February, when he issued, he's a liar too. He's a crook.
You mean David Walker from?
Yes,
the
we can't trust him either.
He has a bone to pick.
Really?
He wants.
But back to my trust fund. Where's my trust fund?
Your trust fund is mostly in the full faith and credit of the U.S. government.
Now let's cut to it. The full faith and credit.
Yep. Of the U.S.
In other words, the money has been spent for general purposes, hasn't it, ma'am?
The trust fund is in the budget, and it makes the deficit.
Come on. Let's get to that. You're a professor. You're not a politician. The money's gone, isn't it?
Every time that we buy a treasury bond,
Dr. Gil Arducci, the money is gone, isn't it?
The government borrowed it from Social Security plan, just like it's.
They issued IOUs, correct? They issued IOUs, correct?
They did, just like they're issuing.
Hold on now. Is that insurance?
It's insured by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government.
No, I didn't ask that. Is that insurance?
Social Security is insurance.
How can it be?
Well, what it is if you meet the requirements to get the benefit, you get it.
The full faith and credit, I got that part. Yeah. The IOUs, I got that part.
Yeah.
But basically, if the government didn't have a printing press, it would be a Ponzi scheme, correct?
No, you're right. And if it was Argentina or some other kind of country...
No, forget about Argentina. Now, here's my next question.
Yeah.
These 401ks, why don't we just nationalize the damn things?
Well, that's my proposal.
Yes. Tell us how we would do that. Go ahead.
What I want is those tax breaks to be cut way back. So if people want to contribute $5,000 to their 401ks, I don't know why they would, they can, and they'll get a tax break for that. But stop it at $5,000. Right now, the wealthiest contribute up to $20,000. Only a few people, about 3% of workers.
Well, we want to stick it to them.
Yeah. So they don't need it. We don't need it.
No, they don't.
They help themselves.
But may I ask you a question about the attitude?
Yeah.
Not yours personally.
Yeah.
But I mean the attitude that goes into this. When somebody says that somebody else doesn't need something,
yeah.
Isn't that a little fascist, don't you think?
Well, when we have dollars to spend, you want to help the people.
No. But if I earn $5 million employing 1,000 people
sure.
and creating, let's say, a brand new heart valve, and I do things that are good for society, my question to you is, you're looking at me from the new school, is it? The new school for
sure.
social research.
Right.
Why should you be able to tell me,
yeah.
or anybody for that matter, that I don't need that?
No.
That's what you said. I don't
very
need that.
Narrowly. No, the rich in this country get to keep their riches.
What is rich?
We believe in that. It's important.
What is rich?
I just meant if we're going to spend dollars for retirement income security, you don't need to incent.
But you're defining spending dollars as people keeping their money and denying it to the federal government.
Sure. I mean, you said it before. If the government needs money, for whatever, bombs and freeways.
Exactly.
Then not taxing it is denying the government the money.
Exactly. And where is that in the Constitution?
Pardon me?
Where is that in the Constitution?
No, the Constitution says...
Now, we can only do things that are constitutionally acceptable.
Yeah.
Hold on now. Where is that authority? Which article? What section? You've been studying this. You've written books on that. Where's the constitutional authority for the government to do that?
For the federal income tax?
No, not the federal income tax. For the government generally to say, you know what, you're rich and you don't really need that.
No, it's not in the Constitution. The Constitution gave the power to Congress and the President to
do
make
what?
Those philosophical decisions.
No, to raise taxes, an income tax, to pay for the legitimate purposes of government.
Right. And then we decided to make it a progressive income tax.
Well, right, I got all that, but my question is, where does the Constitution permit the government to decide that I have too much money for my pension?
No, it's not in the Constitution. It's in the laws of Congress.
It's in the laws of Congress. It's not in the Constitution. Well, the laws of Congress have to comply with the Constitution. You see, the liberals want the general welfare clause at the beginning of the Constitution to be the beginning and end of the Constitution. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is tyranny. You're listening to somebody who's proposing tyranny. Has a lot of people listening to her on the left. A lot of people listening to her. Just remember two things. They want to destroy individual independence, and they want to redistribute the wealth. Then they've got you. It's over.